You're listening to Unlocking Vulnerability, a podcast produced by Helen, helping you better understand consumer vulnerability. Hello, I'm Helen, and welcome to Unlocking Vulnerability. It's incredible to think how quickly the world has changed, and in a short space of time we are all now considered vulnerable. In this episode, I'll be taking a closer look at multi-layered vulnerability and the impact this global situation of COVID-19 has on us as individuals. Firstly, I hope this episode finds you, your families and colleagues safe and well. In this period of social distancing, it's absolutely vital we keep in touch and check in regularly with our friends and loved ones. I want to start by sharing with you the 4 personal impacts we will be facing during and indeed after this situation. It's important to be familiar with these impacts so that we can quickly and easily spot the signs of difficulty or further harm coming to either ourselves or those around us. These 4 personal impacts are emotionally, physically, mentally and financially. We're going to look at those in turn. We're going to start looking at the emotional impact. The dictionary definition of emotionally is in a manner characterised by intense feeling. Emotions play a key role in our daily lives, and in many cases, our emotions influence our thinking, reactions, responses, behaviour, and our health. We're now facing a challenging and life-changing situation, meaning our emotions are going to be significantly heightened or altered, which in turn significantly alters our decision-making, our responses and indeed our behaviour. And we've seen signs of this with stockpiling and panic buying in supermarkets. A range of our emotions that we could be feeling now include fear, anger, frustration, confusion, feeling overwhelmed and anxious, the feeling of not being in control either of ourselves or the situation, and feeling lonely and isolated. Emotions that are intense and extreme can also significantly affect our health and mental well-being. The next impact we're going to look at is from a physical point of view, and this has been a really big impact on us so far. From a health point of view, we have the significant threat of becoming ill with the coronavirus, but it can also impact our health in other ways. So it may be that as we are now confined to our homes, there could be a significant lack of exercise, physical exercise, keeping us well, keeping us moving. We can also be impacted with our health by the extreme emotions that we may be experiencing. So there may be increased levels of stress, anxiety and fear that can manifest itself in physical health conditions, so increased blood pressure, increased heart rate, and in any other way that individual may have weaknesses in their health. We are also significantly impacted with our physical location. So we are now staying home. We've been told by the government to stay home. We're staying indoors. We are isolated from other people that we may interact with on a daily basis. We're also now working and schooling our children from our homes. So our whole home situation, environment has completely changed, and this can really impact individuals as well. And it also has a significant impact on our routine. Humans are creatures of habit. We like routine, we crave routine. If the routine has been changed significantly, this can really impact us mentally and emotionally. So we've seen significant changes to our routine, whether that's our working life. We're now not commuting to work, we're now working from home. Our working hours may have changed, our working location has changed, and even actually there may be some people where their working tasks have changed as well. Also, we've had changes to our leisure time routines. We're not able to go out and about freely as we were able to before. All of this can really impact our sleeping patterns as well. There may be people that are staying up later in the evening, getting up later in the morning, or actually there may be people that may not be sleeping well at all due to stress, fear, all of those different worries that they may be experiencing. So overall, people's routine has significantly been impacted. The next impact I want to share with you is mentally. As well as impacting our emotional state of mind, this distressing and ever-changing situation can significantly impact our mental health too. From feeling overwhelmed, fearful, lonely, isolated and stressed, it can also affect our ability to cope with and carry out day-to-day tasks. So there may be many of us out there that actually just getting out of bed in the morning is going to be a challenge, just carrying on, having that motivation to get on and do our work, carry on with our family life with regards all these situations that's going on around us. The last impact I want to share with you is with regards our finances, and I think this is going to impact so many of us out there. The financial impact of this situation can result from either a sudden fall in income, so that maybe the businesses are closed, there's been reduced revenue, or it could be from an unavoidable rise in expenditure. Children are now out of school, food and medicine costs may have increased, and we may see a significant increase in our telephone and energy bills because we've been working and staying at home. So these are the 4 personal impacts that I wanted to share with you today. And taking all of these impacts into consideration, it is easy to see how one major situation can easily lead to vulnerability and challenges for individuals who may not have been vulnerable to start with, but it also can push those vulnerable people further into harm and more challenging situations. What I also want to share with you today is that vulnerability is not one-dimensional, and many individuals are going to be facing more than one vulnerable situation at any time. So, for example, an individual who is now running their business from home whilst trying to homeschool children, they're also taking care remotely of their elderly parents, keeping the morale of their employees up, whilst also personally and mentally comprehending what is going on around them. And then, of course, adding the financial impacts to that mix as well. During this time, it's absolutely vital that we take note of our own emotional state. Consider asking yourself these questions. How am I feeling? Really feeling? And at this point, it's okay to say, I'm scared, I'm worried. This is something new and uncertain for all of us. Thinking about your feelings, how are your feelings manifesting themselves? Are they affecting your mental and physical health? Are they affecting your decisions, behaviour and responses? And what's most important is, who can you speak to about how you are feeling? It's also really important that we stay in touch with people. Now, more than ever, social contact, although remotely, is vital to keeping us emotionally, physically and mentally well. Social distancing really means physically distancing, being more than 2 meters apart when outside of the home. However, now is the time to increase social interaction through other channels. So we have Skype, FaceTime, Zoom, telephone calls and texts. They're all absolutely crucial to keeping in touch with people that we cannot see physically. I'm putting together a coronavirus signposting resource with websites and links to additional support that's going to help us get through this together. I will post a link of this on my website, and if you're interested, I can email that to you, so please do get in touch and I'll get that across to you. I want to finish this podcast by hoping that you stay well, wishing you well. Please do look out for elderly and vulnerable neighbours and friends that you know. Remember to subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. You can also follow me on Twitter at @HPetiferTrain, and I look forward to you joining me on my next episode.